Hello, welcome back to another video, and today I would love to share with you a simple exercise that you can implement on a daily basis on gratitude. Now I'm going to explain why. This is something that I've been doing for approximately 12 months now, and it has made huge differences in my life and to my personal development journey. So I'd love to share it. Particularly this week I've had 3 people talk to me about things like anxiety, stress, procrastination, issues with self-confidence, and this is one of the first exercises that I recommend because it definitely does help. And here's why. So as we know, when we are grateful for something, that is basically shifting our focus away from potentially anything negative to something positive. I also think, these days we can quite easily get hooked up in the, let's say, either the rat race or just such a busy lifestyle that sometimes we just forget to slow down and to be grateful for the very basic and simple things that we have in our lives that perhaps many people don't have. The point is, and we've all experienced, I'm sure, we all have, high days and then low days, okay? So life at times, as we know, can throw these cannonballs at us or these challenges. It can be really easy to focus on the negative, can't it? And I really believe that our thoughts are like magnets. So if we're not careful, if something goes wrong in our day, or not quite to plan how we expected, rather than focus on what has gone wrong and the negative, because if we don't shift our focus away, we can easily attract another negative thought. And I'm sure some of you out there are familiar with the phrase or the term, the law of attraction. If we don't quickly switch our thinking, it's like fueling up a fire, okay? So that negative energy, the thoughts can then turn into negative feelings, can escalate, and we end up feeling a whole lot worse if we don't catch it really quickly and shift our energy back into the positive. So I do my gratitude journal basically on every morning. So I will sit with a cup of coffee and I will write 10 things that I'm grateful for. All right, now I would definitely recommend try to implement this and try and make it a new habit. All right, so that means that you end up doing it on a daily basis without even thinking. So you're on autopilot. It takes 5 minutes, so I personally write down 10 things I'm grateful for. Now the key, you might want to do it differently. Maybe you want to just say it out loud. Perhaps you want to just think it in your mind. But of course, thoughts in our head are great, but then if we actually speak it out loud, that's even more powerful. If we speak it out loud and write it down, that's even more powerful. On top of that, when we really feel the gratitude, so not just writing it and not really feeling anything, but when we genuinely feel grateful and focus on what we're writing and thinking about, that's when it really counts, because it shifts our whole energy onto the positive. All right, so I write 10 things that I'm grateful for, and it can be anything, by the way. It can be anything to do, it might be your home, it could be your friends, your family, your work, perhaps your health, maybe just looking at the flowers in your garden, because some days I appreciate, I'm sure we've all been there, where you might think it's really hard to be able to find something you're grateful for, but all you need to do is just step outside for a second or just go somewhere quiet. And if we're breathing, it shouldn't take us long to be able to think about something we're grateful for. So write 10 things down that you're grateful for. The next thing I do is that I literally just focus on those things that I've written just for a few minutes. And this is particularly good, by the way, if you're feeling quite overwhelmed or a bit of a chaotic thinking might be going on, or chaotic lifestyle, or really busy, fast paced, just sit still and just focus on the gratitude and just ask for guidance, because sometimes we get small signs in life that we can be so busy that we totally miss those signs. And sometimes the answers to the questions that we might have in our life can be there all along, but we are just so busy and chaotic we don't see the obvious answers. So just be still, ask for guidance. Now the last thing that I've been taught to do, which I think is also really powerful, particularly if you are possibly having a challenge with another person in your life, it might be someone you're working with, a family member, friend, is just think of something nice about that person. So, rather than feeling frustrated or any negative thought or feeling about that person, because again, remember, what we put out, we get back. So if we are sending out negative energy or negative thoughts, that is exactly what we're going to get back. So we're not necessarily doing it for that person, although it's nice to, of course, but we're doing it mostly for us. So if we just send love in our minds to that person and just forgive them, however you want to look at it, or just send out a good thought for that person for the day, that is essentially releasing you away from any negative emotion, all right, and any negative coming back to you. So whatever energy you put out, you get back. The thing that you attract is the thing that you focus on. This is so powerful. So the reason again why we do this is because if we focus on gratitude, we are shifting our focus away from anything negative and we are building up this great fire of good energy. So I promise you, just implement this for 21 days or even 7 days to start with, without fail, every morning, and it takes 5 minutes. You will start to notice a shift in how you start your day. So how you do this exercise is entirely up to you. Now, one more thing that I do that I'm going to share with you, this might work better for you, or you might want to add it in on top, just like I do. So during my day, I will also not only be grateful for the 10 things that I've written down, but as I go through my day, I will also be grateful for other things as I go along. So if I have a new client that phones up for a discovery call or whatever it is that they're looking for, I will literally in my mind just be giving thanks after that customer phone call has ended. Or if I'm out running, I'll just think to myself how grateful I really genuinely feel about my health. All right, so that's another tip for you. So what we are really doing is we are developing an attitude of gratitude, which literally makes us feel great and focus on the good things in life. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications tab. That way you'll be notified each time a new video comes up.